Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTutorTherapy, back with another video, and today we're gonna continue answering your questions that you posted under my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we have our special guest today, the floating head. Well, the floating head is actually gonna be reading the questions and I will be answering them. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's begin. What should I do if the student is taking so much time to answer and he's doing a lot of he doesn't know and he's taking forever and he's wasting time? Well, that's a great question, floating head. Thank you so much. Well, Alice, in case of a student who is really slow and he is killing time because he's just refusing or struggling to answer the question in a timely manner, even with hints and all that, then you should not just rely on hinting to them. You just have to give them the answer and ask them to repeat after you. Show them one full example of this question being answered and then ask them to repeat this answer, and then again you can give them a slightly different question but has the same structure for the answer, and then try then to give them the hints and maybe he will try to answer after you. So basically, once the student starts to struggle and you feel like, oh, he's gonna start thinking again for another 5 years, already swoop in and help him with the answer, okay? Especially if there are other students in the class. Being a good teacher and being patient is good, but it should not be at the expense of the other people in their class. No matter how slow the student is or how below level the student is, this should not affect the time that is allotted for the other students to share and answer their questions. Otherwise, you might receive a low rating of an uneven speaking opportunity or something like that. So it's really important to, if you feel he's gonna waste time by answering so slowly or he doesn't know the answer and he's taking forever, then just help them with the answer and just ask them to repeat. Then the next time, ask them the same question again and wait for them to answer, or maybe just try to hint it this time. But it will be a huge difference if you just hint it and he doesn't know what you're talking about, or when you hint it when you already answered the question before and he kind of has an idea what you're talking about. What should I do with a student who just doesn't like to read and refuses to read? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Thank you, floating head, for the second question. Well, thank you again, Alice, for the question. You always have great questions, so thank you so much. Well, in case of having a student who's just refusing to read, it's probably because he doesn't like it and he's scared of it and he's not good at it. So in that case, especially if you have a huge paragraph that he's supposed to be going through, I would use a white block and cover everything around it and even most of the paragraph and start to go with him line by line. If he doesn't want to read by himself, then you can say and ask him to repeat after you. So in that way, he will be saying the words maybe without looking at them. And if he's that type of student who doesn't like to read, now I wouldn't insist so much on making him read, especially if the topic is not really interesting, or I would replace the text. So after you ask him a couple of questions and he answers you, you can just type the answer on a blank page and ask him to read the answer. All right. The important thing is for him to always continue participating with you, to not stop talking while you're reading for him, or for him to refuse reading and then you don't know what to do. The important thing is for him to stay happy while he's learning. So if he doesn't want to read, you can't force him to read, but maybe try to make things a little simpler, make things a little more interesting, and make things a little different for him, and definitely he's gonna participate. Just, it's all about how to approach those people. What about the student who is in a group class and he's below level? And he's taking too much time and it's affecting the other people in the class. What should I do? Well, that's actually an amazing question, and it's really good, and it's happening all over the place. A lot of times you will find yourself in a classroom with 4 or 5 students, and one of them is like 2-3 levels below everyone else. He will be struggling to catch up with you. He will not be able to answer the questions on the same level, and he's just not going to be able even to read on the same level at the other students. Now, if he was alone in this classroom, then all you have to do is just simplify the questions for him and simplify everything for him, and then take it little by little. But you can't do that right now because you have other people who are at the right level. So in that case, here's what I suggest you to do. First tip is never let this affect the participation time of every student. The participation time should still be equal between all of them. It doesn't matter if he's taking too long, if he's taking not too long, you should always try to maintain that. Okay, it will look as if you have the class under good control and you are an organized teacher. Now, if you ask him a complicated question, then there is a chance he's going to struggle and the time is going to start to run, and this is why you will feel like he's taking too much time comparing to his classmates. However, if you know that this is his turn, then you have to dumb down the questions for him. Make it simpler. For example, like I said, you can ask other students, what do you think about the side effects of taking a certain medicine? And then they will answer you. But then when it comes to that lower level student, and then you can ask him, this medicine, is it bad or good for people? Okay, what if it makes you sick? What if it makes you feel bad? Ah, this is called side effects. So you are going to take a chance of asking the question in a different way. He's going to answer you in a simple way, but he still feels he's participating. He still feels like he's doing just as good as everyone else. All right. The important thing is for him to not feel he's below level, so he will not rate you badly, and he will not take too much time of his classmates, so they will not rate you badly. Okay, so simplify things for them while keeping things at the right level for the other people, and try to keep it smooth, organized, without a lot of problems. If he cannot read very well, make him read half of a paragraph instead of a full paragraph. Make him, you have a judgment, right? So see the page that looks like it's gonna be easier to read and ask him to read that page, just because you know it's easy and it's gonna be less struggle for him to read or answer these questions on a certain page. Strategically choose what to ask him and what not to ask him throughout the entire lesson, so he will feel he is participating, everything is the same, and the lesson flow is still being maintained without any problems. And that's it.
And that's it, guys!
Oh, sorry. You will do it? Okay, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. That was me and my real version reading and answering some of your questions. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Do not forget to like and subscribe, or the head will be angry. Oh, 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 oh.